Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. I'm so happy you decided to join me today for your past life reading. If you're new to Pick a Card readings, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how it works. I've laid down 4 cards below, 1, 2, 3, 4, as well as a corresponding flower. I know many people like to pick their pile with something tangible instead of just looking at the cards, so I've given you that option as well. So if you're feeling drawn to a certain flower or card, you would pick the one that's resonating with you the most. And if you feel drawn to more than one, that's okay too. It might just be that there's information in both of those readings that you would need to hear. So for today's reading, I'm going to be conducting it completely intuitive. I've only laid out 1 card below from my tarot deck, which is going to kind of set the tone of your past life story. And I'll be pulling from some oracle decks as well as my tarot deck. I've included timestamps in the description box below for each card so you can listen to your specific reading. So feel free to give the video a pause right now and choose the card that you're feeling the most drawn to. All right, so now that you've picked your card, let's go ahead and get started with card number 1. Okay, so card number 1, let's see what we have for you. We've got the 10 of Swords. Okay, so right off the bat, maybe not the best card to see in a reading, but, oh, I just had that card flip over as well. Maybe not the best card to see in a reading, but we'll see. We'll pull a couple more tarot cards before we kind of start the narrative of your past life and kind of what this message might also have for you. So we've got, maybe we'll just take one more. Oh, okay. Very interesting so far. So the card that I had pre-selected that was there for your reading was the 10 of Swords, which is telling me kind of a betrayal, something not so good had happened in one of your past lives. But when I'm seeing that along with the 3 of Cups as well as the 4 of Pentacles, I'm seeing that you were kind of able to move through that, right? So the 3 of Cups especially is telling me you were very connected with maybe your family. You might have had a big group of friends that kind of helped you through this. So something in your past life you went through was a huge betrayal for you. It definitely changed who you were as a person. I'm seeing in the Tower card that was definitely a big change for you, having this person betray you, and what you went through and feeling so kind of alone, and it's funny because you have the 3 of Cups, which is telling me that you had your friends there for you or your family and you did have support. But I think right when this first happened, this initial betrayal, you really did feel alone. So it took some time. And once you were able to feel that kind of support from your friends, and especially with the 4 of Pentacles as well, that's bringing you into kind of a more stable, kind of secure sense where you're, I want to say almost greedy, but not greedy, just holding things close to your chest. So that's what I'm getting from this combination, is that you went through something that was such an epic and kind of all-encompassing betrayal in your life that it completely destroyed who you were as a person. But you were able to get through it with your friends or family or support system. But it definitely changed who you were. So I think maybe before this, you might have been the kind of person that was, very happy, very carefree, very trusting, and going through this betrayal definitely changed your perspective on the world. And I think a message to take from that, we'll see what the oracle cards come up with as well, but initially a message right there is telling me you might have some trust issues, right? And these trust issues might actually be kind of deep rooted and rooted in your past life energy that you wouldn't have even known. So we've got the Moon card is coming out as communication is key. And expect powerful change. So what that's telling me is that there's some people in your life, some areas in your life where maybe you aren't communicating as well as you should be presently. And what your past life is telling me is that it's because of that betrayal, right? So you went through something where you felt so betrayed and so alone that sometimes now you don't feel like you can trust people. And what your past life is trying to let you know is that you need to trust people. Powerful changes are coming for you. We have the new moon eclipse, which is telling me that if you can open yourself up and put your trust in some people going forward, that's going to help you kind of have these powerful changes that could almost be related to the Tower as well, right? The Tower is definitely a change card, sometimes almost a violent change, but also a lot of times a good change, right? Change is growth. And I think that what that's telling me is that there's opportunities here for you to have growth and have really good things happen in your life, but you have to be able to start trusting some people. And not everybody, you definitely don't want to have kind of blind trust. It needs to be trust that's rooted in this communication card, where it's telling me that, you know, you need to figure out the right people to trust. And so I think what we can take from this reading with the forgiveness card is that there's definitely some people in your life even now that maybe you've been burned by. So it's feeling almost like a cycle. You've gone through some things in your life, in your past life, as well as your present life, that you feel betrayed by, right? So this 10 of Swords card might also have some relevance to you presently, where you have been through some things that you need to be able to forgive people for. And it's not to say that you should let them back into your life or that you should go forward and blindly trust them. It's just that holding on to that kind of hate or that feeling of betrayal isn't going to do you any good going forward. So if you can just forgive and possibly just forget, let go and move on from these people, that's where you're going to find yourself in that state of powerful change. And in the Wonder card, I'm seeing so many wonderful things coming for you if you allow yourself to be open to that. So what I'm seeing in relation to your past life is a little bit of a warning to say, listen, I also went through some bad things, some betrayals in my past. Well, it's your past because it's your past life, but that life definitely went through some things as well. But in the end, they came out okay. They were celebrating with their friends. They were able to kind of recover from that. And I don't feel that you guys have gone through something quite as powerful as what your past life has. This was definitely a devastating change, but you've been through some things in your life as well where you maybe don't trust people, and that's okay. Not everybody deserves trust. People do have to earn trust, but what the cards are calling for you to do is to open yourself up to more communication and give yourself the time to speak with people and know that you need to be able to open that line of communication. And if you can start to trust certain people, if you can open yourself up to the right people, that's going to bring about a big change in your life, which is only going to bring you forward in a wonderful and positive way. So spend some time maybe thinking about some people in your life that you feel connected to, that you feel you have good energy with. And I think you'll be pleasantly surprised that you'll be able to kind of move on from some of this distrustful, I don't want to say it's a pattern, but it seems like your first instinct is maybe to not trust people so much. So maybe give yourself an opportunity to see one or two people in your life that you feel you can be a little bit more trusting of and a little bit more communicative with. And that's going to propel you into this place where you're going to have powerful changes in your life. So that's the reading that I received today for you, card number 1. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you want to see more content like this in the future. I'm also happy to take requests. I love seeing comments and questions in my comments and DMs. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that we get to see each other again soon. Hello, card number 2. Thank you so much for joining me today. Let's see what information we have about your past life. Wow. So first card that comes out is the Star card. This is probably one of my favorite cards in the tarot deck. It is such a beautiful, hopeful, kind of healing, inspiring card. So this is telling me right away that you have a past life where you were just such a wonderful, bright person. Maybe someone famous. This can also sometimes be fame. And just someone that everybody really looked up to. So we've got the 10 of Wands, interesting. And I had 2 cards fly out at me onto my floor, and I'm going to try and pull one more as well for your reading. Let me see. It's feeling like this was a very, very long and very eventful life. So we've got the Star, the 10 of Wands, the 7 of Cups, the 8 of Swords, and the 3 of Wands, which actually flew out in reverse. So what I'm seeing for you guys is, you definitely do have that Star energy, but it maybe wasn't the easiest path to get there. So with the 10 of Wands specifically, I'm seeing this kind of it's like an energy of like a burden, someone being oppressed, just feeling like you have so many responsibilities on your shoulders, and you really you start to feel the weight of that, right? And then with the Eight of Swords as well, we're kind of seeing this energy of like confined, restricted, feeling very alone. Sometimes it's almost a self-inflicted thing, like you are isolating yourself because you want to be the person that does everything. But I'm getting more of just an energy. You might have been a caretaker for a very large family. You might have been the person that everybody depended on. You had a lot of burden and a lot of responsibility. I'm getting that in both of those cards, just a little bit in different ways. And then when the Three of Wands comes up in reverse, I'm getting that as an energy that's kind of it's a lot of hurdles on your way, right? So when we have that in the right side up, it's like a very successful card, letting you know you're moving forward, opportunities coming for you. So in reverse, I'm seeing that as kind of a struggle for success and a struggle to reach the opportunities that you're hoping for, which I think maybe just had to do with the burdens, right? So there was a lot of burdens in your life that held you back from reaching a lot of your goals. But in the Seven of Cups, to me, that's showing that maybe you had quite lofty goals, right? So that can be a very kind of fantastical card, reaching for the stars, wanting to fill all of your cups as well. So it could be that you felt very burdened by your life, and you had very lofty aspirations, and these burdens were in your way. However, with the Star card, that's definitely telling me that you did reach those goals for yourself. So I don't know why I'm getting this kind of narrative of maybe the oldest child of a family where perhaps the parents were not, healthy enough to work. So you might have been the one providing for the family, even though, you had your own goals and your own dreams. And I'm seeing something external might have happened, which allowed you to finally reach those goals and reach those dreams. And everybody just saw you as such a wonderful person that took care of everybody, that's interesting that card comes up, that took care of people, that was admirable as well. So I'm seeing it, you definitely, I don't know if you were famous or if it was just in your community, that people really saw you as somebody to strive towards being. You were definitely a role model, but not just a role model. You were somebody who was just so generous and so loving that people wanted to kind of be around you, right? That energy was very contagious. You were always taking care of other people. And here we go. So we're getting kind of definitely the same narrative here. So we're seeing a time to give rather than take, which definitely represents your Ten of Wands and Eight of Swords time, when you were really doing more for other people. And you did feel burdened by that, though. So for you, that was a tough cycle. We have this full moon in Capricorn, which is saying the end of that cycle is approaching. But what's funny that came up right underneath the Seven of Cups is that your dreams need a practical plan, right? So I think some of the goals and aspirations that you might have had in your star phase might have been a little bit lofty, could have been like an actor or an actress or somebody who, like a famous author even. I'm getting that vibe that you definitely might have wanted to write a book or a play about the experiences that you went through. And hey, maybe you did. You just had to have a practical way to get there. And I think you also needed to refine your goals a little bit, because it seems to me like with the Seven of Cups, that can often be trying to put your energy into too many things, trying to do it all, not having a focus. So I think that's kind of, that's interesting. So I think that what that's telling me is that you did achieve some of your dreams. You just had to cut down on them and be practical about which dreams you actually did pursue. In the Stillness card, I'm definitely getting that sense that was happening for you presently as well as in your past life, right? So in that moment when you were feeling so burdened by everything that was going on around you, I think that really represents kind of a stale portion in your life. It was a time for you to gather wisdom, and we do have the Wisdom card here showing that you were going to be able to use that in the future to really propel yourself into something great. And I think what this message is trying to give you in terms of your present life is to not take on too much, right? So a lot of times we like to keep busy. We like to be the doers. We like to be the givers and be there for people in our lives, which is amazing. It's wonderful to be that kind of person. But I think that what your past life is telling you is you have so much star energy, you have so much potential here, but you really need to hone in what you're spending your time on. So with the Seven of Cups especially, that's telling me you might have too many projects on the go right now. You might not be focusing your energy in a way that's going to really propel you into this star phase for yourself. And and really to be practical and take a look at what you have going on in your life and decide where you should be spending your energy, what burdens you should be allowing to kind of take root in your everyday life, and prioritize what's the most important to you, what's practical, but as well as still reaching for some impractical things too. Just because a dream isn't necessarily practical doesn't mean that you can't put your energy towards it. And especially with this star card, right? Reach for the stars. That doesn't mean that it's not going to happen, but just also have some of your goals or some of the things you're spending your energy on be a little bit more practical as well. It's always good to have a fallback plan or a second option if you're really out there, dreams don't work out for you. But I'm getting such positive energy from this vibe, and I'm seeing that when you do reach those goals and you do kind of get yourself into that star phase for yourself, the possibilities are endless, and that you're going to be admired and respected by a lot of people for your determination and for your giving nature as well. So that's the reading that I've received for you today, card number 2. Please like, comment, and subscribe below if you want to see more content in the future. I'm also always interested to know what kind of readings you guys would like to see. So what interests you? I hope that you guys will like, comment, and subscribe below, and let me know what you're hoping to see in the future. So thank you again for stopping by. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that we get to see each other again soon. Thank you. All right, so card number 3, let's get started and see what your past life wants you to know. Ooh, the sun. What a beautiful, positive, warm, and radiant card. I think that that's telling me right off the bat, you were such a loving, wonderful, bright person in this life that we're reading for you today. Interesting. That card came up in another reading as well. So it wasn't all roses for you. And I think that's kind of how it is for everyone in their life, though you don't usually get the positive without also having some negative as well. And let's try and pull one more card. Oh, there we go. Interesting. So like I said, with the sun right off the bat, I'm definitely getting this kind of energy that you were a warm, very attractive person. I would say physically as well as kind of spiritually, emotionally, people were very attracted to you. And in the Four of Wands, I'm seeing this kind of homecoming card almost. So to me, I don't know, what I'm getting is this energy that you might have been kind of like a war hero, somebody who went out, fought for your country and came back and was very adored. I'm kind of getting that energy in the Three of Pentacles as well, which is a very like collaborative teamwork type of card, that you might have been maybe a general or an admiral in a war, where you worked as a team to, secure your country and fight for your country. And you came back to this homecoming, where everybody was really welcoming to you. But what I'm getting from the Eight of Swords is this kind of feeling of being alone, kind of confined. I think perhaps what happened in the war and what you saw in the war really changed you as a person. So I think this sun represents maybe who you were before you went to war, and also how everyone saw you when you came back as this war hero, and everyone was so proud of you, and you really did a great job, probably got some medals. It was definitely a period of time where everyone's saying you're so wonderful, you're so great, but that's not what you're feeling inside. You had to see and do things in war probably that you never expected you would have to do. And I think because of that, the energy that I'm getting from these cards is that the second half, the rest of your life after this war really changed you as a person. And I don't want to say it was like a victim complex, but I definitely would say some of these things that were going on internally were a little bit more exaggerated inside of you. It feels like you had this energy of never reaching out for help with anyone. I'll deal with everything on my own. I'm on my own. No one will ever understand what I've been through. I'm getting that kind of energy of, you couldn't share that with other people, or you felt that you couldn't. But I don't think that's the case. I think that there would have been people in your life that could have understood and helped and supported you. But unfortunately, that's not what happened here. And I think that what that's telling me for you right now in your own life is that you need to reach out to people. You need to tell people how you're feeling. You can't always put a smile on and pretend that things are okay. If things aren't okay, you need to be able to have a support system in place, or to just know when to reach out for help, even if it's not friends or family. It could be a professional as well. And I'm seeing that especially here in both of these cards. So the first card that came out was a personal issue reaches resolution, the full moon in Cancer, which is telling me that you've been going through something recently, probably something very difficult, especially with this Eight of Swords energy. You're going through something, but you've been going through it on your own, right? And what your past life is calling for you to do is to reach out for some help, because you used to be, and you still are, but you used to feel, I think, this sun energy a lot more, maybe with your friends and family, and something has been going on inside of you recently that is dimming that energy a little bit. And instead of internalizing that, you should reach out to someone, maybe not necessarily even to tell them what you're going through, but just for some support or a change of scenery, and to work through your fears, right? We have this new moon in Scorpio energy, which is telling me what you're going through is something that you are going to be able to work through. Maybe you have anxiety or fears for the future. This could definitely be to do with what's going on now, especially in the universe, where we're not able to be around our friends and family. It's a very isolating time where we're all feeling very alone. And I think that you definitely feel that, right? Your light has been dimmed a little bit, but I think what the cards are calling for you and what your past life is calling for you is to reach out to people, just to be around your friends, just to be around those people that maybe make you feel a little bit brighter, that maybe bring out your sun energy, even if you don't want to share what's going on with you internally. And I'm getting that energy from the Eight of Swords, that it's a very esoteric problem. It's something that you don't want to share with other people. That's okay. But just having someone around, I think that's the energy that I'm getting here, is that you're feeling very alone, and that's not helping the issue that you're going through. And I think that what you need to do, and with the Voyage card especially, is telling me is you need to get out of your head, right? You need to take a voyage. It's probably not going to be a physical voyage just based on what's going on in the world right now, but you need to take some time to get out of that headspace. Not saying, I definitely don't want to sound like I'm trivializing what you're going through, because I do get the energy here that what you're going through is very serious and very hard for you. But I think what you need to do is just take some time to try and put that to the side, distract yourself a little bit with your friends and your family and things that you enjoy doing. And I see here in this Gateway card as well that can really help open up the path to healing, the path to working through your fears and being able to resolve this personal issue that you have, right? Because we all want to be that sun-like energy. We don't want to feel alone. We don't want to feel burdened or confined by our thoughts. And I understand what's going on inside of you right now internally is not easy, and it's definitely not comfortable, and you feel very alone. So I think what your past life is calling you, and what the cards are calling you, is to reach out. Just try to do some things different. Reach out to a friend or a family member, or even just immerse yourself in an old hobby or something that would make you feel that sun-like energy, and just give yourself some time to get out of that headspace. It'll do you wonders to try and compartmentalize a little bit what's going on and what's feeling burdensome and what's bringing you down, is to try and do something that makes you feel a little bit lighter. And that could be the start to that gateway that helps you get through to that area where you're resolving your issues and you're working through your fears. So that's the reading that I received for you today, card number 3. Please like, comment, and subscribe below if you want to see more content in the future. I'd also love to see any video ideas that you guys might have or want for me to make in the future. Thank you so much for stopping by. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope that we get to spend some time together again soon. All right, so card number 4, let's see what the cards want you to know about your past life. Oh my goodness. Well, you were definitely a very important person in your past life. Right off the bat, I'm seeing that you were definitely a leader, maybe a business owner, a visionary, someone who people definitely flocked like sheep to follow, definitely someone who people respected, and somebody whose ideas, I think, were very kind of well received. This could also be, I would say like a business owner, somebody who maybe ran in a town or the community that you were in, somebody who might have controlled a lot of the businesses and things that were going on. So I'm seeing as well the Tower. Okay, we've got the Eight of Wands also. You were definitely an innovator. You were someone who made some changes. That's interesting. All right. You didn't do it alone though, but but you were definitely, I would say, maybe the face of the movement, the face of things that were going on. So I'm seeing a very clear picture to me. This is telling me that you were in, maybe this is definitely an older life. I think this is a time when change was very scary for people. And I'm seeing that you were in a position where you really changed the kind of total outcome of a community or a city, a town, maybe even a country. This could have been, this could be quite a big one. You were definitely someone who was important. And I see that you brought about some change for the better, definitely for the better. In your community that was, I think, well received. I'm not getting any energy here that people didn't like you. You were well liked and you were definitely like progressive. So you made some changes in the way that things were done that really helped move people forward. You know, without even maybe knowing it at the time, you just made a few small changes that you thought, okay, this is going to make things work better. But I think without knowing it, you actually moved things in such a, you were the start, you were the trajectory, right? You were the beginning of the path that really made a difference to these people. And then in the Three of Pentacles, we're seeing this kind of teamwork and collaboration. So I want you to know that you didn't do this alone. You definitely had help, but again, you were the face of this movement. So when people look back at history, you could even be in history books for sure. When people look back, they think, okay, this person was the one. This is, this is the one who made these changes, but there was a team behind you. It could have been friends, could have been family, could have been advisors. You definitely had help, but you were the one who took kind of all of the glory. And I guess all of the criticism. It doesn't seem like there was much criticism though. I think most people were really receptive to the changes that you were making, which is of course, a good thing to hear. We have here in this zebra card, thriving, which I think just kind of speaks to, again, how you were able to help this community, how you were able to help these people get to a better place in what was going on. So they obviously had ways of life, ways of doing things that weren't working. This could be something as easy as kind of introducing a new way of farming, introducing a new way of doing politics. It's unclear a little bit exactly what you did, but what you did made big changes. And we have here love and gateway as well. So the changes that you made could have also had to do with people love, maybe an end to arranged marriages is something that just kind of popped into my head. It could have been for you allowing women to choose their own spouses, allowing men to choose their own spouses going forward, not having to be in an arranged marriage. Or it could just be that the love card is coming up to show how loved you were by everyone in this community and these changes that you made. It definitely brought through this beautiful energy. We've got the gateway card, thriving in love, which is telling me that the changes that you made were so well received and so amazing for all of the people that were a part of this community. And it's just a really great energy. And I think that that's really great for what you're going through right now as well, to let you know, you're a badass, right? You were, in one of your lives, you were someone who was pretty important. And not just someone who was important, but somebody who people adored, somebody who made big changes. And I think what that can bring into your life right now for you is that, you are going to do the same thing now. I think you are probably in a place in your life right now where you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed, because we do have this disseminating moon, which is telling me take time to breathe out. And then I'm getting over here this new moon in Leo, which is saying confidence is your key to success. So the cards are calling you right now to take a second, evaluate what's going on for yourself, and realize that you have no reason to doubt yourself, right? You have lived lives where you were such a cool, badass person, and what you should know is that you still have that energy now, right? I don't know if you are a Leo. I know Leos do have a very kind of confident energy to themselves, but you have a little bit of that, even if you don't have Leo, as your sun sign. It could be in your chart, or it could just be that you do possess that energy. You need to call yourself to have that confidence, to know that you are able to do anything that you set your mind to, and your past lives want you to know that you have done some amazing things. And I think that what's important to focus on in this reading, especially with the disseminating moon here and this take time to breathe out, is that you need to stop for a second and think about, what are your goals? What things do you have that you want to achieve? What will make you feel like you're thriving? and focus your energy there, but have confidence in yourself because you have these keys to success, the things that you want to achieve. It's not really about if you'll achieve them, it's when. These things are written for you in your stars, you know. These are things that you're going to be able to achieve. You just need to take the time, really give yourself, you know, some mental health days, give yourself that time so that you're not feeling too overwhelmed, but know that what's coming for you is this beautiful place of thriving and love and confidence and adoration, definitely from your peers, and just a feeling that you've accomplished something. And I think that to you is probably going to be music to your ears. You want to be that person that feels that you've accomplished something, you've made a change, you've made a difference, you've improved something for the better. And that's the energy that I'm getting in your past life as well as your life now. You're working towards something that's going to change people's lives for the better. And that's the reading that I received for you today, card number 4. Please like, comment, and subscribe below if you want to see more content like this in the future. I'm always happy to take requests. I'd love to see your video ideas. I'm always running out of ideas pretty quickly, so any ideas that you have for a future video would be well received. Thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope you have a blessed day, and I hope we get to spend time together again in the future. Thank you.